Welcome back, sports fans. In this segment, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Thanksgiving Day game that the Lions played against the Texans in 2012. For those of you who remember, Jim Schwartz was the head coach of the Lions at that time, and this was a pretty big Thanksgiving Day game for the Lions. They had not won a game in a while, and I think at that time they'd lost 4 or 5 straight games. Obviously, this was a huge game for them. They got a lead on the Texans, and then in the third quarter, I believe it was, Justin Forsett had an opening, he took off and raced all the way to the end zone, and it was ruled a touchdown. There was only one problem. He had slipped around the Lions' 35 or 40-yard line, I think it was. And at that time, while all scoring plays were reviewed, there was also a rule that if you challenged a scoring play or a turnover, I believe it was at that time as well, it negated the review. And Jim Schwartz did not think about this or did not know about the rule. I'm not sure which. And he threw the challenge flag before the officials had a chance to review it. Had the officials had a chance to review it, because it was very clear and obvious on replay, that play would not have been a touchdown. But for the fact that he threw the challenge flag, it negated the review, so the touchdown stood. And from that point onward, it was pretty much downhill from the Lions, for the Lions, excuse me. They were outscored 13-7 the rest of the game, and although the game went into overtime, the Texans were able to march down the field on the first possession of overtime, I believe it was, and kick the game-winning field goal, and the Lions ended up losing the game 34-31. One good thing that came out of it, however, is because of that, the very next year, they changed the replay rule to the way it is now, where it does not matter if you throw the challenge flag, because all scoring plays and turnovers are reviewed. And that is the reason why that rule is the way it is now, for those of you who did not know that. In the next segment, I'm going to discuss Barry Sanders and an interesting story that was written in the Free Press about him. Stay tuned to the Detroit Lions tomorrow on Ed Sports Channel.